guys, it's Kelly. I am back with another process video. Today's layout is for Stuck Sketches and it is for the December 1st reveal, and I just posted the sketch that I am going by. This sketch is just awesome, and I debated on whether or not to do a Christmas layout, but I decided that I was going to make a page for my daughter's softball album. This is her team photo that I took several months ago. So I thought that the star would be perfect for a sports theme page. Just, thinking outside of the box a little bit. When you think of stars and the month of December, you think Christmas, but I just took this as an opportunity to get this 4x6 photo scrapped, and I thought that the sketch would work well with it. So what I am doing is I'm going to stay pretty close to the sketch, and it has a few paper layers and strips behind the photo and on top of the star. It also calls for a strip on the bottom of the page, and I chose some papers from my stash. The majority of them are Felicity Jane. Actually, all of the papers are Felicity Jane. I do use a branding strip from an old Studio Calico paper that I have, and that's it for that. What I am trying to do is, you see me, I'm fussing around with these layers, and the reason is that I feel like it is going to be somewhat of a simple layout. And I don't say simple as in, just a photo mat of pattern paper and be done with it, but it's going to be like, I guess, have more of a clean look. And I feel like when you have a more clean and simple look, that every paper that you choose, every embellishment, everything is a little bit more deliberate. There's not as much room, I think, to mess around with, like all the different paper layers. And so, it's more challenging for me to make a layout like this, but I love the end result, and I'm going to tell you a couple of things that I think made it easier for me. So the first thing that I did was, if you've been following me, you know that I have bemoaned my daughter's uniform colors before. It is like a burnt orange. Her team is called the Hornets. The colors are appropriate. It's just more difficult to scrapbook. I like pinks and blues and yellows, and burnt orange really just does not make it into that color scheme. So for this picture, I'm ignoring the photos or the colors in the photo completely. And I'm going to go monochromatic with the pop of yellow. So everything is going to be neutral. It's going to be white, black, gray with the pop of yellow. And I'm just trying to figure out where to put the different layers. And I went ahead and I decided to mat the photo with this graph paper, and it really looks cool. I thought it would look neat, but I didn't expect how neat it would look just with that tight graph. It makes it easy to trim the paper as well. So I also had these Felicity Jane black sequin stars, and usually if I'm going to have like a big star embellishment, I'm not going to use little small star sequins, but these were perfect, and they ended up looking better than I even thought that they would. The size difference between the stars, between that big yellow star and the teeny tiny stars, just really makes a big impact, or at least I think it does. Another choice for me to keep this very clean layout were these alphas from Felicity Jane as well. I went through a mix of kits. This is not just one kit. I went and pulled bits and pieces from several of the past kits, and I can't even tell you which ones. But these alphas I love. It's a classic font, but it's a little twist on it. The black letters have the white outline, and for me, it's the little touches like that that make things special. And I cannot say how much I love these alphas, and I'm wishing that I had ordered another set. So at this point, I am really liking the way that the page is shaping up. You see my fingers tapping because I always try to figure out, where I'm going, what I'm, if I'm liking what I'm doing. And I decided that I do. So I cleared everything off and I took it over to my sewing machine and I stitched around the star with black thread. And I will tell you that this was a little bit more difficult, just getting, going around the points of the star. So what I just thought would be the better starting point was in between the points of the star, like just to the right of my photo. And you can barely see where I started and where I stopped. I felt like that would make a better place to start, because for me, if I were to start at the edge of the point and try to line up when I came back around, I would never be able to line it up and it would just overlap. And a messy star would be fine. But on this page where everything is graphic and linear and clean, I really wanted it to be clean. So that was my thought with that, and it really did work out well. So if you're stitching a shape, that's just an idea to keep in mind that I think worked well for me. So at this point, I'm really liking the way that it's coming together. I'm going to go ahead and get the layer stuck down, and I'm going to go ahead and get my title down. The adhesive is very similar to thickers with these letters. I'm going to have to come back later and adhere them down with my Scotch Quick Dry adhesive, but that's okay as long as I know before I put it in my page protector. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to figure out the exact placement for this title, and I'm trying to get it centered to where it starts and stops at about just the same spot on the ends of the photo, and that that the middle letters are kind of centered over top of that banner wood veneer. Again, when I feel like when you have these clean layers, it's little touches like that make a big difference. So, or at least I think it does. So those are just some of my points, to consider if you're making if you want to make a clean layout and you're struggling with it like I do. Those are some of the things that I just try to remember. So on my desk, I usually have a couple of things that I've been too lazy to put away, and these Maggie Holmes thickers were on the desk, and they have these puffy stickers that are black words, and I found a few of the words that I thought would go well. And I am just trying to recreate a random look of these sequins. You are going to see me mess around with these and mess around and mess around. And I will pick them up and I will throw them down at the page and they will get stuck to my fingers, and I will then try to move them. And this is, sped up 4 times. So you can just imagine how long it took me to play around with these sequins. So, you try to make it look as good as you can and with the random pattern, and then you just have to let it go and just stick it down. And I eventually get to that point. I just thought that you guys might like to laugh at my behalf, as I'm just being almost neurotic about these little sequins. So I wanted to, there were several words that I had pulled that were appropriate for it, but I was trying to stay pretty close to the sketch, and she had the cluster to the lower left-hand side of the sketch, but I end up leaving that cluster off and just using a black word. And I'm going to put that one. I think the one in the lower left-hand side says amazing, and the one on the label says hooray, and I think the one in the top right-hand corner says yay. And they're all the same manufacturer, which is the Maggie Holmes, and I just think that looks better again for this type of clean layout that I'm going for. So at this point, I say I am done with the sequins. I know you guys are probably cheering with this. I'm just going to stick them down and just be done with it. So that's it for me. Be sure and check out the blog. I have seen the design team layouts they've made with the sketch, and they are amazing. All sorts of good inspiration to be found. So I will link that in the detail section below. And as usual, I have some close-ups at the end. So thanks so much for joining me today. I will see you guys very soon, and I hope you have a great day. And I will be back tomorrow and Saturday with 2 more videos. So I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.